Pablo, light it up.
I heard about the Porsche when I was young. Trap, 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 trap. I heard about the Porsche when I was young. Trap, 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 trap. Got it out the mud, all they ever wanted was a plug. All my niggas thugs, money coming, gotta get it up.
What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. Check it out. Jermell Charlo. Well, did this fight mean something or did it not? We got an answer. So for the love of sports, let's talk about it. So, we got an answer, all right? And that answer comes from, let me pull up my notes here. That answer comes from YC. My man YC. Hey, YC, let me tell you people something. This dude right here, I already knew when YC came on this channel and started to compete, it was going to be problems for anybody competing. This guy, YC, he knows this sport, man. He knows this sport of boxing very well. Very insightful. And, you know, he's going to be a challenge. JB, watch your back. YC in town. Well, YC takes this one. And, you know, of course, as usual with tradition, we're going to read the winning comment of YC. And so let's get to it. All right, so YC says, keeping everything in context, what does it mean for the division? Nothing, other than Charlo shouldn't be in the ring with ranked 60 fighters. All right, is that new? No, everyone knows Charlo is the top fighter at 154. What does it mean for the rematch? More hype. Jermell arguably won the fight against Harrision. That spectacular KO just reinstalled that factor in him. Good for him. As for Harrision, did it change anything with him? No, because Harrision knows Charlo's power, timing, and mentality. Charlo did not display anything new. Exactly. Okay. He did not change or adjust. He's still loading up on punches and getting trigger happy. Therefore, the win was nothing other than another tally on his resume. Okay, and so fantastic comment, YC. YC scored 9 points on that one. And so, you know, what I'm going to do differently, guys, is, you know, this show is still fairly new. The channel, I mean, is still fairly new. And so, generally, I would, you know, our team here was kind of going along, but I'm going to expound a little more on these topics on Fridays. And so we're going to piggyback here and kind of break down YC's top winning comment. And then, you know, we're going to dig into this topic a little more about Charlo and, as YC said, the division, and, you know, what this win means. And so Speak Your Mind Sports Talk stance is decided by you guys. And so this week, YC decides because he wins the mastermind. And so we take that stance and we back that stance. And so we back YC and we take the stance that this win, you know, concerning Charlo fighting Harrision meant nothing. It meant nothing. And you know, I'm glad that the mastermind for this title won this, because my personal opinion was of the same as YC. But you guys got to remember, I'm just the host. I'm just the voice. I just read the topics and you guys decide. So sometimes my opinion is going to matter and sometimes it's not. the opinion that's going to matter is the sports fans, you guys, because the mastermind decides. And so Charlo, you know, Charlo, as in another comment, and I've talked about this before, he lost the first 2 rounds. So I don't know, you know, some Charlo fans may not agree with that, but Charlo didn't win the first 2 rounds. And so the thing is with me is that if you're gonna go in there against a rank, I think Wasi called him a rank 60 fighter, or whatever rank this guy was, you're supposed to destroy him. See, you have to go in there with the mentality of a champion, because you felt like your belts were taken from you. Harrison didn't earn them, you were robbed, or whatever the mindset is on that. So you should still be in the mindset of a champion. That's your belt that Harrison holds. And as a champion, you shouldn't be losing 2 rounds to a Cota. Period. You should have done, to me, it's very impressive to flatline that guy the way he did. But, you know, we're going to talk about that as well. But it's very impressive to flatline the guy. But this is something that was expected. See, I don't know. I catch a lot of flack from people, and they feel like that I'm maybe, you know, speaking bad of Charlo, but I'm really just speaking the truth here. It was a knockout. That's what it was. I like to see knockouts, and so do a lot of boxing fans. This is why we watch the sport. And so that's what we got. We got a knockout. But how many fights have a lot of fighters been losing, but they get the knockout? It doesn't mean that the fight they put on, the show that they put on, was a fantastic performance. What that means is they got the knockout. There was just a fight against, I believe these guys were 2 lightweights on the card this past weekend. Acosta versus Soto. And if any of you guys caught that fight, for a long-range fight, this is exactly what that Charlo fight was for a short-range fight. Soto was getting beat all 12 rounds. He was getting beat. Acosta was boom, 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 piecing him up, timing him perfectly, just beating him. They were both highly fatigued. It was late in the 12th round, and bam, Soto catches Acosta. Fight over. Soto wins. Now when we look at the fight, Soto was getting beat. It was obvious. I actually made a joke, and I kind of called that. I was doing a live, and Boxing Monster was on with me. And I said, Monster, look at these guys. Watch this guy go all the way to the 12th round and get knocked out. And boom, that's what happens. And you can kind of see it coming because Soto was the only one hurting him, but he had a tough chin. He kept biting down and firing back. But he was landing the most punishment. But Soto, these 1 blows was hurting him. And so when fatigue set in, you could kind of see, like, if he gets caught in the 12th round, he's going to go down. And that's exactly what happened. But my point is that he was getting beat up the whole fight. So this is what, you know, I look at when I see the Charlo fight, even though it's 3 rounds. You know, had it gone 6 rounds, 7 rounds, 8 rounds, we knew what the ending outcome was. Charlo was going to knock this guy out. We knew this. But what we've seen in those first 2 rounds is not indicative of what I'd like to see when he challenges Harrison again. Because if he's that defensively irresponsible, if he's able to be hit that easily, if he lunges, as Wasi said, if he gets trigger happy, as Wasi said, then Harrison's going to effectively counter him. Harrison's going to effectively be able to gauge his timing. Harrison is going to effectively beat him this time if he goes in there and looks anything like he did those first 2 rounds of this Cota fight. And see, the thing is this. Even in the round when he knocked Cota out, they were in there just kind of boom, 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 trading blows. So we have to understand this, people. And you know, I should hope that a lot of you guys do a little film study and you watch these fights. But there's something we have to understand. This is why you have what's called a puncher's chance. Because in this great sport, in combat sports, one hit, baya, can take you out. So when two guys are in there slugging it out, and both of them have good, you know, pop, and one of them has pretty good knockout power, it's safe to say that someone will probably get knocked out. And so these guys in there swinging, throwing blows, and boom, Charlo dips and comes up, wow, catches him clean. Okay. What you guys, the point that I'm getting to is this: Charlo did not use the sweet science to set this knockup out. This is something else we got to think about. You know, like he knocked out Lubin. When he knocked out Erickson Lubin, it might have been quick, but Charlo threw jab and he came, boom, he came under. See, these are things when you setting up a knockout. Or jab, bam, come with that straight right, which we've seen Charlo do plenty of times. He set it up, but with this Cota fight, they were in there just slugging it out, and boom, Charlo caught him. Now let's talk about the flatline, because I said that I was going to get to this a little later. You know, it was odd to me. I like to watch these fights. I don't listen to the commentary because they're biased, and I don't really care what network it comes from. I'm my own commentator because I know what I'm looking at and I know what I'm looking for. But what was odd to me in this fight is that referee, Cota kind of stood up. He had his glove hanging on the rope. The referee says, "Are you okay?" Cota says, yeah, I'm okay. Then the referee grabs his gloves and wipes them on his shirt and then tells Charlo to come on. Now, correct me if I'm mistaken, but doesn't usually the referee stand the boxer to the side, back up, and tell him to walk to him? And then he checks his eyes out while he walks to him, maybe just, you know, a few steps, then wipe his gloves off and send him back in. Why was it that referee just, you okay? Wipe his gloves off. All right, get him. Now, again, man, Charlo was supposed to beat this guy. So I'm not calling any conspiracy theory or anything, but dude, the guy was going to get knocked out. If he wasn't clearly back yet, the referee, in my opinion, did not even check to see if he was all the way coherent. You know, them stepping back and requiring those boxers to take 2 or 3 steps toward them, they do that for a reason. So I'm just wondering, when a guy gets dropped like that and then he gets up and he's kind of bracing himself on the ropes, which means, to me, that means he's utilizing the ropes to stand up. Why do you not make this guy walk to you? Hell, the referee, when Wilder, and I'm a Fury fan, okay? Well, look how much the referee did for Fury when Wilder knocked his ass down. I mean, I thought he was going to make him do the hokey pokey and turn himself around. But he made sure that he was gathered and everything. You know what I'm saying? But this referee, you okay? Oh, all right, let's fight. And then Charlo just comes in and it was pretty much easy. Boom, boom, because Cota could barely get his gloves back up, which means he clearly wasn't ready. And did you see his eyes when he hit the canvas? Gone. Okay, so with all of that being said, impressive. Exciting knockout. You gave the fans what they wanted to see. Impressive fight? No. Does it mean anything? No. Should Harrision be scared? No. Because if Charlo doesn't come in better than that, it's going to be a long night. I wouldn't say that Charlo will lose this fight to Harrision, but he's got to do a lot more than he did in that Cota fight. That's what I will say. He's going to have to bring a lot more to the table. He's going to have to show a lot more improvement. And it would be safe to say he's going to have to get in there, listen to Derek James, and try a lot harder in that gym. Because what he gave us against Cota was not, again, indicative of what I'd like to see when he fights Harrison. Now, Showbiz the Adult made a very good point that it may not have been for that purpose. It may have been just for a purpose of his confidence, to bring his confidence level back. Fighters need to see that other guy going down, getting knocked out, and like, yeah, I'm back. Shout out to Showbiz the Adult, man. That's an insightful brother. That dude, he, you know, his show is terrific too. He has these characters, and you know, go check him out if you guys haven't. But Showbiz the Adult, much respect. My partner, Speak Your Mind Sport Talk, they're always chopping it up, those two guys. He loves Showbiz the Adult. But I like Showbiz's channel too, but he knows his not he knows, I'm sorry. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk, my partner, he just loves that show. So at my request, at his request, go check him out, Showbiz the Adult. But Showbiz brought up a hell of a point about that, you know, and it's very valid, a very valid perspective that this fight, you know, like such as fans such as myself and probably YC as well, we're looking for improvements to gauge what he's going to be able to do in this next fight. And, you know, when you look at alternative perspectives, and that's what this channel is all about. I wish Showbiz may have competed, because he could have won this actually. And see, this is what you guys got to understand. If Showbiz had competed on this topic, he might have beaten YC out if he brought enough facts, and he would be on the opposite spectrum, that this fight meant a lot. Because from his perspective, it meant a hell of a lot concerning Charlo's confidence. And if you guys hadn't seen it, go check it out. Go listen to what he says, because he has a very, very valid perspective. And that's how you can win here. You know, there's not always one right and one wrong. It's more than one way to skin a cat. And for people that want to think that I'm biased, I just present the topics, guys. You decide. I can't be biased, you see. And so Showbiz made a valid point that, you know, his team could have done this to build his confidence. When a guy loses his first fight and loses his title, he needs something to spark back up that confidence to say, hey, you did it. You know you can do it. You know, that's why you have these champions that get these, you know, little BS fights in between, because they need to keep the confidence. You know, boxing, remember, fighting, sports is half mental, man. It's mental. So you have to keep the mental faculties in order as well as the physical. So, again, if you guys didn't check that out, go check it out. Showbiz the Adult. Great channel. Very insightful brother, but he made a very good point about this Charlo. But as far as this channel is concerned, Speak Your Mind Sports Talk, our stance is that fight didn't really mean anything concerning whether he'll win in this Tony Harrison fight. It didn't mean much. You know, he knocked out a lower level guy, which is good. He should have done that, but he's got to bring more to the table to beat Tony Harrison. So, you know, if you guys don't agree with that, then for the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.
Shit happens, niggas want me to talk about it. They love gossip, want me to talk about it. It's all over the gram, so I'ma talk about it. You heard what happened? Niggas want me to talk about it.